Oklahoma City.
Erik, this trip could have gone south a couple of times. This game could have gone south a couple of times. What's it say about the group that you were able to put together a second half like that and finish this thing 4-3?
Well, you want to, grow through your experiences. Sometimes your experiences are tough, painful, and that's what we had at the start of this trip. But we came in, the next day, the Sacramento walkthrough. It was all business. It was just about an approach to bounce back and do things better. We've started to defend with a little bit more consistency, on this road trip.
And a follow-up, Erik, to be able to play a fourth quarter like that and give Jimmy those 12 minutes off, how big of a deal? Getting the win is one thing, but getting Jimmy a little rest too couldn't.
Yeah, and it was great. Just the enthusiasm, and I think those guys wanted to play well, while he was on the bench and see if we could push the lead. And then, when we took that first time out, I looked at Jimmy, and Jimmy was in the huddle, and he said, "Hey guys, keep going. Let's give it another 2 or 3 minutes, see how it goes." And I think that energized the group, and they were able to create even more separation.
Thanks, Bob.
Next, we have Ira Winterman.
Erik, a couple of little things, especially one that wasn't a box score thing. If you looked at the box score, you probably didn't think Andre Iguodala did a lot, but it seemed like his defensive feistiness and sort of peskiness at the end of a long trip and an uneven game. How important were Andre's minutes tonight, and especially the outside of the box score things?
Yeah, he's almost the anti-modern day analytic player, because you can't at all gauge his impact on winning just by those box score numbers, because he does so many things that go unnoticed. It's the extra pass, it's the spacing, it's being able to initiate offense, it's being in the right spot defensively, rebounding or tipping balls, playing big underneath. It's just a great luxury to have an experienced champion like him on your squad. And look, we understand it. I know Steve and the Golden State Warriors understand his value, and until you actually have him on your side and see how many quote-unquote winning plays he makes, probably the average fan wouldn't totally understand it.
And then one other subtle thing. You always tell us, and you always tell your players, shooters keep shooting. So you had Max with a rough game a little bit, company here, 1 of 6 in the first half, but he stepped up with a couple of big three-pointers, and Duncan the same thing. I mean, it would seem like people would be gun-shy. What's it like pushing players through those tough minutes and sort of making them be true to themselves? Thank you.
Well, their teammates, number one, want them to continue to be aggressive. It helps our offense. Secondly, you want to get shots in your wheelhouse, and we've been getting a lot more of those, lately the last few weeks. We've been getting our attacks, we've been getting our paint touches. Our three-point shooters are vital, to the spacing, but also being aggressive. And you have to play the odds on that. As long as you're getting good, clean looks, we want them, to take those, and they hit some big ones, down the stretch.
Thank you.
Next, we have Anthony Chang.
Hey, so I know the shooting kind of got going there, midway through the third quarter, but before that, how important were the second chance points and the offensive rebounds tonight, and then also just getting into the bonus there midway through the third quarter and getting some relief points at the free throw line?
Yeah, Bam and Jimmy, really created some actions to allow us to draw some fouls. We've been doing that, a little bit more consistently, which is a big part of our game as well. The last point that I didn't make about that three-point shooting too is, being able to stay stable and defend, even if you are missing, as long as there are kind of shots to stay the course. There was about a 3 or 4 minute stretch where we did not defend with, the discipline and focus we needed to at the end of the second quarter. And I think that was a byproduct of us missing some open threes, but we're getting better with that, certainly much better than we were 5 weeks ago with that.
Next we have Joe with the Associated Press there in Oklahoma. Go ahead.
Erik, big half from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm curious just how big of a defensive challenge he put on you guys. Just seemed to be scoring at will. Had that big surge there at the end of the third quarter. Just wondering how challenging that was for your defense.
Yeah, he's really grown in his short career. Just seeing where he was, as a rookie, the Clippers, the last year, and shouldering, the big responsibility of being a number one option. It's pretty impressive, and I think coach has done a really good job with these young guys and having that team play to its strengths. They are very good getting downhill and attacking, getting into the paint.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Erik Spoelstra obviously happy with the winning 3 straight to end this road trip. Boy, oh boy, that makes feel a whole lot better, that flight home back here to Miami. Our post-game media conference is presented by Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, the official sports medicine provider of your Heat. Go where the pros go. We'll take a break, come back, and hear from Coach Ronnie Rothstein here about what turned out to be a pretty darn impressive second half for your Heat. They win at 108-94 in OKC on your Heat Basketball Network.
Hear that?